And now I want to lower it, just keeping the square white button. That means that it is recording. Now I want to start recording with webcam max. I want to close the animation again, and now it works. And then I want to press the red button to record.
The red circle.
And you can see that it starts blinking rec for record.
Yeah.
So that is working also.
So you have 4 programs of recording.
Right. All of them are local hosts, which means running locally.
You have 5, no?
5.
5 recording.
So I want to keep the episode.exe short.
So you
and anytime I reach a stop point, I want to stop it and refresh it.
So now you want to reduce PSR, you want to stop and
keep the PSR files short.
Okay, so you want to stop.
So now I click on stop record.
Click on stop record.
And then I want to click on save.
You want to click on save, you want to put a title there. You want to take from the last
I want to take the previous one and paste over it today's title.
Okay. Do you have
So
the
I'm
date?
going,
Is it the right
I'm
day?
going to the ZP, and after that take last title, overwrite it with the current title.
It's the wrong date.
Just don't trash me, please.
No, I'm
just listen to what I say and repeat for now.
Okay.
Until you learn the process and you understand what it is. I can keep city code enforcement compliance because this is what you are going to do. But the rest, trashed bushes is good.
Right.
Replant is good. And that will be day 7 of 7. But the rest of it is irrelevant. So I'm going to paste the new title that I gave.
Which is?
And I'm going to delete extra character, make it day 7 of 7. This is the 7th day that I'm doing a yard work. 7 of 7. Replant trashed bushes. Is branches, it's not really bushes. So
it's not bushes.
I'm going to say branches, trashed branches replant. They're not really bushes.
You're not doing the bushes.
So I can get rid of this section, make it a little shorter, and delete that. Replace it by space for readability, and then I need to update the time and date, which is 11/9.
So from the 7, you have to change it to 9.
So I'm raising the 7 to 9 for the 9th day of the 11th month, which is November. Then the version
is SA.
Is F, and I'm going to go back. I don't need it.
And the day is SA.
The day of the week is capital S for Saturday and lowercase a and period.
Take out the TH.
And then I can delete the TH for Thursday. And the time is 9:20 a.m. Actually, I started already earlier, so let's say I started at 9:15 or 9:10 even. And now it is 9:20, so it's been already 10 minutes.
Yes.
Can you stay here, please?
Yeah.
Helper, but you don't know. You are my pseudonym, as my parents used to say. Now I grab the episode.exe path, copy to the clipboard buffer, saved already.
Copy
and
to
we
the clipboard.
start recording already.
Well, that's why I'm getting my phone. Video. I have to change the view. What? You don't want to put your camera on for 2?
Just don't interfere with me. Just do your thing and give me a little break and repeat what I said.
Recording.
So now I copy to the clipboard buffer.
Yeah.
Click copy, and then I click save. And now I'm clicking review additional details. Repeat it.
You're reviewing additional details.
I named it and I saved it, and then and only then I clicked review additional details, and I'm scrolling up to see that was step number 40.
Okay.
So at this point I'm starting anew. I click new recording.
You click new recording.
And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a comment again with the previous file name.
You're going to add a comment. Okay, and then let's show it to you.
Paste the comment. Okay, yes, fine. At this point, I'm ready to continue to put on my goggles. So I'm taking my goggles. I want to turn them on. So I press the on and off button. And I'm waiting for it to turn on into buzz. Buzz. And then another couple of buzzes and it starts blinking, which means that it started recording. So I'm going to wear it and add the power bank to it. So I'm taking the power bank here off of the power supply. I don't know why it is still red, even though it was all night long connected. When I reconnect it again, it turns blue. So it may be fully charged. Now I want to extend the cable all the way, lock it up in the extended position, then insert it into my shirt pocket. Then I want to run it through my sweatband all the way underneath it and up, so it doesn't interfere so much, doesn't pull so much on my left ear. As you see, it pulls down my left ear too much. Now I realign a little bit the 360 camera so it focuses more on my face. I want to watch and be sure that my goggles, my video eyeglasses are still blinking. And now I'm going to stick in the USB-C plug into the USB-C socket. Notice that I have this paper clip here, which is because the temple part of the glasses broke. And I re-glued it with super glue, and it is still recording, so I'm going to continue. At this point, I want to add another recording device with the combination, which is my lanyard. So I want to grab my lanyard here and demonstrate how the lanyard works. The lanyard has a phone stuck in it, so that the lens protrudes at the top, and in the back side it has a clear rear vinyl pocket, so me or any user can see the screen and can punch the buttons on the screen through the clear rear vinyl pocket. For now, I'm going to extract the strap that was stuck into the rear clear vinyl pocket, and you have to be careful that you don't pull the phone out with it. Now I want to put it over my head, so I put the string over my head, so the lanyard hangs on my chest. So I'm going to lower a little bit the 360 camera so it focuses more on my chest than the floor. I want to show how I'm extending it so it is away from my body by 3 or 4 inches. And to do that, I have a couple of knobs. Those knobs are on the hinges, right there. You see this black circle? That is a knob. And I'm going to tighten up this knob once I spread the legs. I want to spread the legs so they remain on my chest, about 3 or 4 inches away from my chest, so I can see in real time what my camera or my phone is shooting or displaying. If I'm in a video conference, I can click the buttons and so on. So I'm tightening up now the two knobs, one knob on each hinge. There are two hinges, the right hinge, okay, and then there is the left. On each side there is a knob, and I'm tightening up these knobs so the legs, it is a three-legged here it is, three-legged easel, three-legged easel. Okay, and one set of legs, the upper legs hold the wallet, and the other two legs keep it away from the body of the shooter, in this case myself. So you spread it like that and attach these two legs to your back. This is a white version of the easel, and you can see on the studio decor easel, Chevrolet and Cabalet. This is in French and Spanish, I guess. Okay, I like the black one. This one is without knobs. That is another important point. You see the hinges here, just a white metal hinge. Unlike the black one has the same hinge, except that it has a knob on top that is easy to swivel, tighten, and loosen. This one comes with a fixed stress over the hinges, which I don't like because sometimes I like to adjust it. So there are advantages and disadvantages. If you don't want to fool with the knobs and the hinges, you can get the fixed knob, and it doesn't have the fixed hinge. It doesn't have a knob on it, and in order to tighten or loosen it, you have to replace it with one that has a knob. So I'm putting it aside now for a later demonstration. In the meantime, each set of legs that is attached to my chest right now I'm going to connect it to my back. So I'm going to display for you the two carabiners. These are retractable carabiners, which means that when you push them against each other, they lock in position like this. It makes a click, and the audible sound is really important because when I do it behind my back, I cannot see what I'm doing. So I have to learn to do it properly, otherwise it won't function properly. So to release it, one has to press this spring-loaded stopper and release the lock. This is the lock mechanism. And now I'm going to repeat it behind my back. This is for the upper leg, and I have another set with the lower leg. So remember, the upper leg in this case is a blue and black carabiners or reels. Now I'm putting them behind my back, in my armpits, so to speak, and then lock them behind my back and listen for the click. And you have to do it properly, otherwise it will not properly, wouldn't function. Okay, then I have another two set of carabiners for the lower legs. That was for the upper legs. So for the lower legs, it's different colors. In my right hand, you can see the purple one, and in my left hand, the green one. And I'm going to demonstrate again how do they lock position by pressing them against each other. You hear the sound. Then to release them, you have to go in reverse and press down the spring-loaded lock mechanism, and it opens up. So now I'm going to do it behind my back and underneath my Hawaiian shirt. So I can, when I become hot, I can open my shirt up, and I don't have to worry about sticking up the carabiners and messing with them. So I can walk around with an open shirt. I can also, you see the extra cable that I have over my head is too long, so I can lower it down. The only problem is it gets entangled in the string of this neck wallet. So anyways, I'm going to move it to my back so it doesn't interfere when I work in the yard or do some yard work. It's kind of pressed down by the neck wallet. So let's review again. This is a neck wallet. It is a red wallet that you can see, and it has a Velcro, so it locks up the Velcro on one of the legs. I can open it up, and you see inside it's a normal wallet with the various compartments for change, a zippered compartment for change, and a couple of clear compartments for credit cards, and a large compartment for paper money. I'm going to close it, and it's important that you line it up, and the Velcro will seal it, and it won't pop open on its own. And then I have a rubber band, several rubber bands, one of them across the bottom, so it will keep the wallet from moving around. In addition to that, I have several other Velcros on the side. If I want to attach it to any other object other than myself, I can attach it with the various Velcros. You can see one black Velcro, black and gray Velcro at the very top here. Another one, a red one, right underneath it. And then underneath it there's another black and white, and finally another black one, stretchable or rubberized. And then the same thing applies on the left side. Here is a thin, very thin one, and a much thicker one. So I have multiple Velcro rolled up on the vertical leg of the easel to attach it to various things. Now I want to demonstrate how easy it is to swap phones. The existing phone is out of power, so I need to recharge it. So I'm putting it aside and recharge it. And I grab another phone that is fully charged. I want to disconnect it from the power supply, and it shows that it is 100% charged. Then I turn it on, and I look for the camera icon. And I press the camera icon. I get the video. By default, I get the video red button, and I want to start by recording the screen. So I press the red record button, and it replies by displaying the timer. And I may also turn on the flash, so I have a little more light. And now I turn on the flash, and I can kind of show the various cameras that I'm using. So this is the 360 camera, for example, right in front of my head. And then I have another camera right here, so I can shoot upwards if I want. And here another camera that is active now, and you can see that it is lit, and it is in the height of my face, but from the side. So you can see my headband from the side and the temple of the video glasses. And finally another one that is way up, so I have a little more of a distance, so you can see a wider area. And now I take it and I tuck it inside my lanyard in the rear clear vinyl pocket. To make sure that it doesn't fall out on its own, I'm going to strap it with a couple of straps. One on the left side and one on the right side. So the left side, I'm putting it first on, and then push it down so it doesn't interfere with the camera. And since this is kind of falling apart, I put another extra one on the side here that is new, because some of these old rubber bands lose their elasticity. So I'm putting another one on the left that is brand new to tighten it up. Then another one on the right that is a white one. So I have a green one and a white one on the left hand, and now a thicker one on the right side, which I'm stretching now. Now it is nice and tight. I can drop my view or my gaze to see what is my camera, the video camera of my phone shooting, and verify that it is shooting what I want to shoot. The next thing I want to add another, I want to have a little slack here on the video glasses so that it doesn't press on my ear lobe and doesn't break the temple part of the glasses. And now I want to add a head-mounted tablet from RealWare on top of it. So I'm going to check my glasses that are still working, and then I put a cap on top of it. Repeat it, I put a cap on top of my headband.
You're putting a cap on top of your headband, and you're
This
putting
is-
the rim in the back.
Yeah, and I want to put it down so it engulfs my head, but that is not too tight. So there's a Velcro in the front that I'm tightening up.
So you're wearing your cap backwards.
Yeah, I put it backwards so the, what is it called? This
Rim.
The rim will support, this device is quite heavy, so the rim will support it. And this is an old version,
It's an older, heavier version.
older, heavier version that also the battery doesn't work so well. So for that reason, I have two external batteries, and I hope that here you can see 100% charge, which means that it is fully charged.
It's fully charged.
The black one is attached with a green Velcro and another blue one with a red Velcro.
So you got the green
So I have two battery,
packs in case the battery
two
runs out.
two power banks attached to the device. And now I'm removing this red cable that provides the device wall power, and you can see that it is red, which means it is not fully charged. The reason it is not fully charged is because the battery,
It's
the
weak.
internal battery is weak or nearly dead.
Okay.
For that reason, when I take the internal battery out of the power line, you see it is red, which
Yeah,
means it's not
solid
fully
red.
charged.
Yeah, solid red.
I take the power bank
Yeah.
and I stick it in, so to feed the empty battery with
Some
external power.
So
And when I
it's-
stick it in, it should come back and it says 100% charged, 12 hours to go,
Okay, so you have 12
which
hours.
is exaggerated. Now it says 5 hours.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't last for 5 hours, and I'll be glad if it lasts even 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
But this is not the problem. When you have two of them, then I can swap them
You can flip them.
and I can use the other one.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to put it on,
So you're going to put on the
and
head
notice
mount.
that I put on the head mount and it may not work right away. So I have to wait for it. But anyways, this is the viewer. I'm lowering the viewer,
You're putting the viewer in front of your eye.
and I realize that this is not turned on yet.
Mhm.
So I press the on button, and now it comes back and it says 1% charged only,
Oh, wow.
because the internal battery is dead.
So will it,
So what it will have to do is I have to give it some time before I can start using it until it raises up to some amount. So I'm not going to try it even now. I know that it won't work,
okay.
but aside from that, everything is working fine.
Okay, great.
So I'm ready to fold and to close everything, and later on when it gains a little more power, I will use the head mount also. Repeat it, please.
You'll use the head mount once you get power. It has enough power to operate.
So now I'm ready to wrap it up.
And you put rubber bands on your phone.
I put rubber bands on the phone, and I'm shooting from my video glasses and also from my phone, and I'm waiting for the head mount to gain enough power so I can use that too. Because now it gains power from the external power bank.
Okay. Gains power from the power
Explain it.
bank. So,
Here's a circle, please.
so you have the power bank, and what are you trying to do now?
You see
Try-
that it is red,
Yes,
which means it's not charged yet enough to use it.
right. It's not even
When it
blinking
turns green,
or
that
blinking.
means that it has enough charge.
Yeah.
And this is the on and off.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is I want to make sure that the battery is fully tucked. And
Tuck in
it-
so it doesn't fall.
Then, so push it inside
You,
to make sure that the power bank is
it sits well onto the.
fully socketed and won't fall in the middle off. And usually when it's charged enough, it will make some audible sound, so I will know, hey,
Turn
we
it
may
on.
try to turn it on again. In the meantime,
If your
I want to stop drum tum tum with no garbage. None. Now the mouse stop. Sometimes the mouse stops working for some reason. In other words, the cursor disappears. Because on USB ports, with Windows 10 overloaded, it doesn't clean it, the memory well. It loses the cursor, and also maybe the battery in the mouse is not the greatest. So I find the connection, I disconnect the mouse.
And then reconnect again?
Wait a second. You heard the sound?
Yes, I heard it.
And reconnect it.
I heard it again.
And now check it again and hope that it will work, which it does.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm ready to
Stop.
refresh.
Oh, you're not stopping the recording?
Stop the recording of psar.exe.
You stop PS problem step.
Say it again. Stop the recording with psar.exe problem step recorder executable. Say it.
You stop the psr.exe, the problem step recorder executable.
Right. And then I want to save it. So I click the save button. I take the previous file name and click it and bring it down to the file name field.
And now you want to update it.
I want to update it, so I'm going to insert the cursor after the year 2024.
And put a letter.
2 clicks, and then put the letter A.
Start with the letter A.
This is like a poor man version control.
And then you want to change the time.
And then I want to change the time. The current time is 9:43. So I upgrade the 9:20 to 9.43.
Changing the 2 to
4.3. And also,
what?
it says PM and it is AM. So I'm going to change the P to an A. So it reads 9:10 a.m. dash 9:43 a.m., which is the range of time since I started. And then ZP for a zip file format, and the rest is the video file name, and it is redundant in terms of having the time and the date marked by the machine, so you can check the individual. The first time and date is entered by the individual, which is eventually will be done all automatically by an AI agent. But for now, the time and date is automatically done by the MSN Recorder Max.
When you first started.
So the auditor can compare the automatic time and date with my time and date and see the mistakes that I made. And then it has a .mpeg, which means a video file name. And then it has the title, which is trash branch replaned. I misspelled, so I'm going to insert an E after the R. Replant toenail fungus, holistic cures, day 7 of 7.
Day 7 of 7.
City code enforcement compliance yard work, which is what I intend to do. Okay. Now I copied the path.
Copy the path
of psar.exe to the clipboard buffer
from the top.
From the top input field.
Input field. Now you're going to
and
the
then
file
I'm
name.
Placing the cursor at the first position of the file name field. It marks the entire field. Then I'm going to click it again.
In the beginning.
And paste the path.
And then you look for a blinking cursor.
So after that, I put in a backslash
so you know
to separate the path from the file name.
Now you want to copy the entire string.
So repeat, what is the backslash for?
The backslash is to show that that's the end of the file structure. Now after
to separate the path.
No, it's the end, and now
to separate the path from the file name.
It's separating. It's showing you first the file path, then the last backslash shows you the file name is going to begin.
It's called separator in Windows terms. It's a separator that separates different segments of the file name. The first segment, for example, is C:\\, which means the root of the C drive.
Every slash goes down the hierarchy.
Then users backslash
is another subfolder.
Is the path for the users.
It's a subfolder.
It's a subfolder for the users. Then ARush is a subfolder for each individual user, which is this current user. And then documents is a subfolder for that one user. In addition to that, the subfolder of documents is psar.exe, which is a problem step recorder executable. then the last backslash, and then the file name.
The file name is the last.
Now I review again, so I place the mouse on the first input field, click it to review it again and make sure it is copied properly to the last input field, and then click on the last input field.
So you're doing the last input field, and you're going to copy it. You're going to do
Let's
right
review
click.
it again in slow-mo.
What you
First
do.
of all, pom pom pom, no garbage. Just repeat.
I'm repeating.
Click on the first input field and mark it and review it.
First, click on the top of your screen. You see an input field because it's difficult for the user to. It's difficult for the user to see what is first and what
Here,
is
let's
second.
repeat it.
The
I
top.
click it and it marks it.
You click on the top under the basically under the folders, and you're going to click the path.
This is the Save As dialog box. First input field of the Save As dialog box
It's on the
contains
top.
the path
It's on the
to
top.
the current directory.
It's the current directory.
At the top of the second line of the screen. The first line of the screen is Save As, which is the name of the dialog box.
The name of the dialog box is Save As. Underneath it is showing you the path. The path then is a folder. To the left is a picture of a folder.
There's a folder where I'm going to save the current file to or at.
And now you've clicked that, and now you're going to go down to the bottom of the screen where it says File Name.
I move the cursor to the bottom of the screen where there's another input field that is called File Name colon.
File Name colon.
And I left click on the mouse to mark the entire string.
On the mouse.
On the mouse.
Not mouth.
Mouse.
Mouse. You're going to now, it's now highlighted, and now you're going to right click and copy it to
Now
the
I
buffer.
right click and then I select the copy option to copy to the clipboard buffer.
So it's copying it to the clipboard buffer. Now once it's copied, now you're going to save.
Now I'm going to click the save button.
You're going to click the save button.
And save it.
And save.
But before I continue, I want to review additional details and see what step was the last step and how many steps this file contains.
Click on the review.
So I'm going to click on the review the additional details.
You click on it, you're going to scroll up.
And now it tells me the details, and I'm reading the details. Everything looks good. Okay. Notice that there is the time and date here again. So we can reconciliate all the time and dates. One that the MSN Recorder Max produced.
One is the problem step recorder.
And the other one.
Each recorder has its own timestamp.
Now I'm scrolling up to see the last step, which is step number 1.
So you have one step. Okay.
So I have one step in this case.
And now you want to save it?
Now I want to start a new recording. I have saved it already. Okay. Start a new recording. And here's the proof that I saved it. I click on additional comments. And I'm going to paste the file name.
Under additional comments dialog box, you're going to paste
it in the highlight area and comment dialog box, and then hit return because it is too narrow.
You're not going to hit anything. You're going to press the return
press
key.
Return to examine the path, and you can see that the path is C:\users /srush /documents /psar.txt and / the file name, starting with the date and time and the day of the week, that is Saturday, and so on. So now that it looks okay, I click the OK button, and it continues to record, and it gives me the dialog box where I can pause the recording or stop the recording or add additional comments.
So you know you're recording.
Right, so now I want to paste the file name that I just created in my various notes. Starting with the notepad, I go edit and paste, and I got it pasted there with a couple of returns to separate it from earlier things. File save, and then I want to go to WordPad and repeat it. So I'm clicking on WordPad.
The cursor is the.
It takes time because the machine is overloaded.
Looks like it's overloaded.
And now I wait for it to finish the moving of that to the front, and I go select the paste submenu and click paste, and then it pasted the new file name, I want to separate it from the rest by a few blank lines, and then click the
Save.
the icon for save, Control S, or the diskette icon. So I click it, and you can see the hourglass, meaning that it is saving it.
Past the hourglass. There's more hours.
Okay.
Now
So
when do you want to close?
So now that I'm done with it, I can start checking again my head mount and see if my head mount can start working already. And now it tells me that it is 12% charged, which may not be sufficient to start.
You want to wait?
But I can try. I'm afraid it charged 12%, but
just not very much. Why don't you
I can
wait?
try to turn it on, but it won't turn it on.
Okay.
It will just blinking 12%.
It's not enough.
So it's not enough. So I'm going to
Stop
play
loan.
back Loom. So
No,
I
you're going to stop first.
stop it first,
Stop recording.
then
Loom.
grab the URL of Loom. This is a cloud recorder to the memory, copy it into the clipboard buffer. And then I want to play it back to listen to it to see if it is good. So I'm clicking on the image, and you can see that it takes a long time. It says 37 minutes ago, which means that I took 37 minutes since I started. I'm going to let it finish. In the meantime, I'm going to paste the URL in my various notes and wait for it to come up. And now it came up. I can click on the play button and play it back at 2.5 speed.
Play back at 2.5 speed. Okay. So it seems like it's working. Okay.
So then I want to add it to my notepad, edit paste.
You're adding the Loom URL that it's being recorded in the Loom.
Right, and now I want to go edit, select all, then edit, copy to the clipboard buffer,
And you want to put
and
it in.
add it as a comment. I
You
click
wanna
the
add-
comment button, and it stops the playback because it's good,
Of Loom.
of Loom, and now I paste the comment
You paste all your
as,
URL.
I paste my notepad content
Right.
as a comment, and then I look for the summary section in which I click on add summary.
You can add a summary.
And then right mouse click to paste
Paste.
my notes again as a summary, and then I scroll down to the chapter
Chapters
section
section.
and click add chapters.
Add chapters.
So I line up the finger of my cursor
You line up your cursor.
and press the
Add
add,
dot.
and that produces a default of 3 chapters, which I save.
You save your 3 chapters.
And then I want to add tags, so I click the add tags icon,
Yes.
and I pull the tags. I have 3 tags.
Yeah.
First of all is lanyard,
Right.
which 33 videos means that I have 33 videos with this tag.
Right.
And I pop it in. The next one is going to be
badge. BADGE.
inspection.
Inspection is 27. Right.
So I click it in, and finally the last one is badge.
Right.
And this is enough for me for now. So I can restore pages. I don't want to deal with anything here. Just put it down. I'm done with it.
Right.
And now I want to refresh Pizarre. So I'll move my cursor again to the top of my notepad.
Yeah. Stop
And
recording.
I'm going to stop record. So press the stop record button, the save button. And then take the previous file name and increment it from version A to version B.
Right.
Save. Right.
Now you're going to take your file name. You have your cursor on the file name field. You're going to go to version B, letter B. You're going to change the time. Now from 9:42, the time is now 9:56.
So 56.
And then everything else is the same. So now you're going to go to the top of the
Copy it clipboard buffer.
And now you're going to go to the file
Place
name
the
field.
cursor right at the beginning of the file name input field.
And put the cursor at the very
Then it
front.
marks the whole field.
But then you want
I
to
want to mark the cursor at the first position, so I click it again
paste
and right mouse click and paste
and put a
and follow
backslash.
it with the backslash separator.
You're separating the file structure to the file name.
Then I click the path
And
again
you're clicking the
to
path one
review
time.
it.
to review it, and then you're going to go down to the file name and click that entire
Then
one.
right mouse click and copy to the clipboard buffer and then
and
save it. Then I want to examine the number of steps.
Steps, so you're going to
So
go
I
down,
click review additional details.
click on it, and then go
And then
back
scroll
up, and you'll see the
to
last
see that that was step number 59.
Wow.
And notice that every step has a time and date. So, for example, this is 9/11, which means November 11, and
No,
9:55 a.m.
It's 11/9, not 9/11.
11/9 means November 9th,
Right.
the year 2024, and the time is 9:55 and 42 seconds a.m.
What's your
And
last
the
click?
message is what the user did.
Right.
Is user left click on text editor edit in 4. And I can go up and see more steps.
Right. We got
So
one.
now that I'm satisfied that that worked well, I'm starting, click
new-
the new recording,
You're doing a new recording.
and then click the add comment to paste the previous file name. Say that.
You're going to put whatever's in the buffer
Then
in the
suspend it
highlight, in your highlight area and comment.
here.
And
And
now
then I
you,
press return
no, you press now return, and now you
to
press OK,
examine
file path.
the file path
And
which
the
was
file.
hidden. And now I click OK to continue the recording.
You clicked OK.
Now it's time to paste the file name in my notes. So I
Yeah.
start with the notepad,
You put it in your notepad, the last
then file save,
file save.
and now go back to the WordPad.
You're saving your notes in two places, in also the WordPad as well as the notepad.
And
And
then
save
click
it.
the diskette icon
Click
or
save.
Control S to
Or
save
save
it
it.
again. Now it's not only in two places, it is much more than two places. What is it? And
It's also-
various format. This is using the algorithm grandfather, father, son of backup and recovery.
So you're looking at
So
the
let's
backup.
review again. The current one is a WordPad,
You have
and that
WordPad.
is an RTF file format.
And WordPad has an RTF file format when you save it natively, and your Notepad has a TXT.
Now I go to the
Notepad.
notepad right on top of it, the
Right.
next window, and I click on it,
And it has a,
and this is a TXT type of file, a plain text file.
so basically Notepad saves natively all your text in a TXT file, and Notepad automatically natively saves it in RTF.
The reason that that is very important is because this is a basic, what is called ASCII type of file that all the devices can read and write. In contrast with RTF, which is WordPad, it's a proprietary format of Microsoft.
But not
That
all,
not all phones and all devices can read
not
and
all,
write.
not all operating systems can read it accurately.
Read and write it, and so you need to have a reader and a writer, which is another
Okay.
problem. So
Okay, let's move on.
the notepad is the lowest common denominator.
Basically, the TXT file format is the lowest common denominator without any special characters.
Right, and
It's
then
plain text.
I have
It's
Pixar,
it's what we call plain text.
plain text. Then I have Pixar problem step recorder that records everything in a zip format. So that is the third file format. Number 3, and
So
and
step
the third
record.
file.
So the step recorder is recording in CP or zip format versus the other two is recording in TXT and RTF. So you have basically 3 different file formats that are saved in different natively.
Right.
Okay.
Another thing that I stored in multiple folders. So the top one was stored in a special folder for toenail fungus. And now I want to store it also in my log subfolder. So I'm going to go File,
Save as.
Save As,
And look for your
then
log,
navigate to the
log.
log subfolder off of the document subfolder. So I'm going to scroll up to the letter L, and then click on log,
Clicked on the subfolder called log.
then copy to the clipboard buffer.
Then copy the clipboard button, and now you're going to the file name.
I go down to the file name field and
Wait a
click
minute.
one time to mark the entire string, then another time to position the cursor at the first,
But it's not highlighted.
at the very first field, and
But
it is highlighted by a
no.
blinking cursor.
But this is not highlighted.
That means that once I click, right mouse click and paste, it will insert the path in the first position, followed by a backslash to separate the log path from the file name.
No, it didn't. But
Now,
it
one
didn't.
problem that I have is I don't have the date, so
No, the problem is that you didn't copy what was in your buffer. So you made a
I
mistake.
can go back to my buffer.
You made a mistake in
I
your
can
buffer.
cancel
You made a mistake there.
and copy the
You have
entire
it in
string,
You have it in your buffer.
edit, copy,
Right, and now go back again.
and then file save
Yes,
as,
right.
and
Nice,
paste
paste this.
the entire string.
And it was also not highlighted. The problem
Now
was,
I go back to the path of the log subfolder, which I should have copied to the clipboard buffer, but I
Right.
didn't,
no.
and scroll up to L.
Right.
I have K9, K,
Here, stop here. One more. Go down a little. LO. Go down.
here is log.
Yeah.
Then I copy the log path to the clipboard buffer.
Right. You copy it. Now put. See now.
Then I mark the file
File
name
name
field
field
and
and
click one more
Right.
time to position the cursor
Right,
at the very
right.
beginning.
Right. Now
Then
you say
paste
and
the
then
log.
backslash.
The log file name
Right,
path
right, and
followed
every-
by a backslash.
And now this is correct because it has
And
the
now I
right
want to
time.
review it yet again, so I'm clicking on the first input field,
Yeah.
which is the log path, then the second input field,
Yeah.
which is my string of log path plus the file name,
Right.
copy to the clipboard buffer,
Yeah.
and then select save.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to paste it at the very top of the file, and that will be where I can identify the current file name, where it's
The most
located.
recent. The most recent.
Yes, edit, paste,
Which is the most
and
recent.
file save. And the other one also,
You
I
wanna put
like
it-
to save it also to the log folder. So I'm going to paste it first, but then I'm going to insert, instead of zip, I made a mistake, I should have changed the zip to text, but I didn't, so now I'm going to change it to RTF.
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 And now say.
Now copied again to the clipboard buffer, but my
Your cursor.
mouse died.
Right.
So I'm going to take it out
And-
and reinsert it, no
and-
garbage.
Let me make another note here that when you go through this process, somebody's saying this is taking you over an hour just to do this.
That is
you-
fine. That will be done automatically later on by the AI.
You want to be able to tell people that this will be done automatically, that nobody wants to sit there for an hour
File,
just to prepare.
save as,
This is just what you're trying to teach the bot to be able to do.
right, to train the
Bot.
AI.
To train the bot.
Now I have to
What are you doing?
save it with RTF format in the log subfolder. So click save, and now I saved it there. You
Mhm.
understand?
Mhm.
And save it again just to be sure.
What,
Now I go back to my head mount to see maybe now it filled up enough so it can work.
what does it say?
So I'm clicking it. Now it's 27%,
We should turn on to 27%.
but it may not be enough to turn it on. I'll try,
Try it.
but it doesn't turn on yet, which means that it may not be enough. Oh, now it turned on. So now it is booting with the logo.
27%. Let's continue while it boots up.
So I
Let's
don't
go.
want to continue. I want to start a new clip. So to show how,
You want to stop the recordings, I thought. That was the purpose of shutting
when you
down.
hear the noise,
Yeah, I heard some swishing sound.
yes, so that means that it started. I'll leave it the same because I don't want to,
Right.
I don't want to have long enough files that
Right.
when I convert them to podcast, you heard the sound?
Yeah, yes.
So it sounds. Now I'm going to start talking to it and tell it to go to my camera. So it goes to my camera
Folder.
submenu
Folder.
folder, and now I want to start recording. So I'm going to tell it record video.
And you heard the click.
And I hear the click and I see the counter. And then I want to turn on the flash. Flash on. And it tells me that the flash is off.
Now do it again.
So I'm going to do it again. Flash on. Flash on. Now we turn the flash. Sometimes you have to tell it a few times.
It's your intonation too. Sometimes
So why don't you say it?
Flash off. Flash off.
The second.
Flash on.
Okay, the intonation sometimes makes it difficult. Anyways, at this point,
Let's shut down the other.
I'm ready to shut one of the other recording and test it. So I'm going to start from cyber link. You came and press this blue button.
Stop button.
The stop button, but I want to raise it because when you press the stop button, it will create a new subfolder. So I want to show it. I place the cursor. It says stop capturing video F3.
Right. You